Elvis Presley's granddaughter, Riley Keough, is opening up about her plans for Graceland and a promise to her mother.
Shock rocked Graceland when Lisa Marie Presley passed away early this year. In a heartbeat, the mansion that once echoed with Elvis's velvet voice landed in the hands of his first granddaughter, Riley Keough. Devoted fans held their breath, wondering if a new generation could protect the king's legend or accidentally rewrite it. Riley refused to tiptoe around history. She marched to the Memphis gates with a bold dream, promising to tear down barriers that kept many visitors out. Her rallying cry was clear: Graceland must welcome everyone, not just high-priced tour groups. First, she called an emergency meeting of curators, architects, and tech wizards. They huddled in the famous jungle room, drafting daring plans, while guitar riffs drifted through the vents. Ramps at every corner, audio guide in 10 languages, and fresh ticketeers would put the experience within reach for families that once stayed away. Each blueprint earned cheers, yet whispered one huge question: what shocker would come next? Money matters could have strangled vision, but Riley unlocked a secret weapon, a trust fund Elvis built for his little girl in 1977. By law, that fund dissolved when Lisa Marie turned 25, passing the keys straight to her. Now Riley, as a new trustee, could reinvest profits into bold upgrades without corporate chains pulling her back. The young guardian also chased fresh energy. She greenlit summer concerts beneath the same roof where Elvis rehearsed late into the night, turning quiet lawns into buzzing stages. Country nights, gospel mornings, even a vintage rock battle are now penciled onto the calendar. Movie buffs rejoiced too, as Riley prepared the first Graceland Film Festival, screening classics against mansion walls glowing in red and blue. Yet, Riley was not finished. While tourists snapped selfies, she quietly opened the estate for private weddings and midnight corporate gatherings. Imagine sealing a business deal where Elvis once wrote love songs, or exchanging vows beside his pink Cadillac. The move scandalized purists who begged for museum silence. Still, word spread fast and dates sold out before sunrise. Even the famous Graceland Museum felt her fearless touch. Riley ordered curators to dig deep into dusty vaults, unearthing Elvis's childhood report cards, army uniforms, and half-scribbled song drafts. New displays now reveal the shy boy under the glitter and the stern father behind the superstar. Visitors walk room to room with goosebumps as intimate stories jump from every shelf. Riley's determination has turned the mansion into a living pulse instead of a frozen shrine. Critics warn that she risks sacred ground, yet roaring excitement drowns their doubts. Crowds grow thicker, lines stretch longer, and social feeds blaze with clips of unexpected moments inside the gates. Around the world, screens glow as fans lean toward Memphis, eager for the next headline. Whatever Riley unveils will surely rattle chandeliers again, because the king's house is alive, and its new queen refuses to let the music fade. The plot thickened as Riley Keough shifted from bold upgrades to revolutionary outreach. She threw Graceland's massive gates wide open, inviting the whole Memphis community to step onto grounds once reserved mainly for tourists with cash. Free concerts echoed across the lawn, blending local blues band with Elvis hits that shook the city block. But what happened next was even more daring. Riley teamed with the Memphis Music Foundation to give no-cost admission on select days each year. Seniors shuffled in with wide eyes. School kids rushed down halls lined with platinum records, and first-time visitors gasped at Elvis's legendary jumpsuit sparkling under spotlights. Whole families who thought the mansion was out of reach suddenly felt like honored guests. Riley saw education as the real crown jewel. She launched a hands-on program for Memphis classrooms, busing children to the mansion, where guides used guitars instead of textbooks. Kids strummed 3 chords in the same rooms where Elvis practiced, then scribbled stories about how music can smash barriers. Teachers swore the lesson sparked louder curiosity than any digital screen. Accessibility was not just a talking point. Construction crews worked around the clock, installing smooth ramps, new elevators, and wider doorways. The crew even lowered display cases so wheelchair users could stare eye to eye with the king's prize microphone. Each improvement screamed, everyone deserves front row seats. With structural hurdles gone, cultural walls tumbled too. Riley curated an art series spotlighting Memphis street painters, gospel choirs, and food trucks lined with smoky soul food. The South Lawn exploded with rhythm and hot sauce, proving Graceland could honor the past while celebrating the city that raised Elvis. Still, whispers drifted through music circles. Could expanding events dilute the mansion mystique? Riley met critics head-on, arguing that Elvis chased new ideas every day. So why should his home stand still? Her conviction silenced many doubts, and ticket sales for premium tours actually climbed as buzz spread that Graceland now felt fresh again. Media outlets pounced on the story, splashing headlines about a Presley granddaughter turning a tourist shrine into a living festival. Reporters marveled at selfies of families dancing in front of famed gates during a sunset concert. The narrative was clear. Riley transformed nostalgia into a vibrant present tense. The momentum snowballed. Corporate sponsors funded scholarship passes, out-of-town visitors stretched vacations, and local musicians begged for stage slots. Graceland morphed into a cultural melting pot where past glory powered present dreams. Volunteers lined up to guide guests, and city officials praised the estate for boosting pride and jobs. As the mansion lights glow late into the evening, one thunderous truth remains. Riley Keough rebuilt her grandfather's kingdom into a place where every voice can sing, and the world is racing to join the joyful chorus. Graceland is roaring back to life as Riley Keough pushes beyond paint and polish. She refuses to let the mansion sit like a frozen photo of the past. She wants the gates flung wide for every neighbor, student, and dreamer who passes down Elvis Presley Boulevard. First, Riley called on Memphis painters, drummers, and spoken-word poets. They stormed the mansion's meeting hall and mapped bold ideas on giant sheets, laughter bouncing off gold records. The plan was simple yet daring: bring local talent inside the estate, so history breathes in real time. Next came workshops that light sparks in young minds. Teens pound blues rhythms on vintage drums, while guides retell how Elvis mixed gospel with gritty guitar riffs. Kids sketch pink Cadillacs under chandeliers and learn that art can challenge limits. Each session ends with cheers that echo down marble halls. Riley's team also built pop-up galleries where street murals stand beside Elvis's jumpsuits. Visitors glide from neon spray paint to rhinestone sparkle and feel the city's heart beating inside every room. The mix of old and new makes tourists whisper that Graceland feels alive again. No wall is safe from this surge of energy. Engineers have fitted new ramps and wide doors so every guest rolls or walks with ease. Digital displays translate stories into many languages, proving no voice will be left out. Memphis leaders now call the estate a cultural engine. School buses line the driveway. University classes hold debates in the trophy room, and weekend festivals pump fresh money into local shops. Graceland is no longer just a museum. It is a living classroom where the city's future shakes hands with its legendary past. But what happens next could raise the stakes even higher. Rumors swirl that Riley plans night markets on the lawn, where soul food and blues riffs swirl through warm air. If the whispers are true, the king's home will glow long past sunset, daring every passerby come inside and feel the rhythm. Holiday magic is charging through Graceland like a runaway sleigh. NBC just handed Elvis fans the ultimate present, a live musical special called Christmas at Graceland, crafted under the watchful eye of Riley Keough. This is history in neon lights. Never before has a network-era winter show straight from the King's mansion, and viewers are already guessing which modern stars will belt rock and roll carols beneath that famous white facade. The broadcast lands on Wednesday, 29 November, at 1 p.m. Eastern on NBC, with instant streaming on Peacock. It follows the network's tree lighting in New York, yet insiders whisper that Graceland set may steal the spotlight with snow-kissed columns, flickering candles, and maybe a surprise pink Cadillac drive-by. Riley serves as executive producer and shares pure excitement in her statement. My family and I are elated to open the doors to Graceland in this first-of-its-kind special, with intimate musical performances drawing inspiration from my grandfather Elvis's cherished Christmases in Memphis. Viewers will be invited to experience firsthand the magic that is Christmas at Graceland. She promises a show that feels like a private party inside the Presley living room. Industry watchers remember how Elvis shook holiday music back in 1957 with his Christmas album and stunned TV audiences in 1968. We flipped a quiet seasonal program into the legendary comeback special. Riley aims to honor that daring spirit while sprinkling fresh snow on the old blueprint. Even after the cameras stop rolling, Graceland will keep its decorations shining until 8 January, Elvis's birthday. The king kept this tradition for 3 big reasons. First, he adored the glow of twinkling lights and would not rush joy out the door. Second, his faith made the nativity scene sacred, so the display stayed up to honor a deeper meaning. Third, childhood memories of lean years pushed him to stretch the celebration, so love lasted longer than the bills. By keeping garlands draped and angels perched, Elvis built a bridge between his past and his present. Riley now invites the world to walk that same bridge, singing carols where the king once played gospel chords. What surprise will drop next? Maybe an all-night sing-along or a gospel sunrise in the meditation garden. One thing is certain. As long as Riley steers the sleigh, Graceland will sparkle brighter than any tinsel in the South. Why did Elvis keep his Christmas lights glowing long after the last carol faded? Some say he loved sharing holiday cheer with front-door friends and faraway admirers. The garland glittered like a welcome mat, inviting every soul who passed through the famous iron gates. Inside Graceland, the soft glow wrapped rooms in warmth, turning the mansion into a joyful shelter for relatives and tourists alike. Every twinkling bulb whispered you belong here. Elvis treasured his fans, so he stretched the season just for them. He knew pilgrimages peaked in winter, and he wanted each guest to step into a storybook scene filled with hope and music. Travelers often arrived tired from icy roads, yet they left smiling under wreaths and ribbons that glistened in Memphis sunlight. Hospitality ran deep in his heart. Staff recalled the king waving from the front steps, urging visitors to sip cocoa while gospel hymns drifted from his record player. He treated strangers as friends, and holiday decor helped break every barrier with instant warmth. Beauty mattered to the king. His sharp design since craved sparkle and color that matched his rhinestone suits. Leaving decorations up let him live inside his own work of art day after day. Even the jungle room seemed calmer when colored bulbs danced across its green carpet. Faith added another layer of meaning. Elvis kept the nativity scene in place all year, but Christmas gave it special spotlight. He would pause near the figure's head bowed, thanking the heavens for music, family, and the loyal audience that lifted him higher than any stage. Childhood memories flashed behind his smile. Growing up poor meant Christmas was the one moment of pure magic when his parents scraped together gifts and laughter. By protecting that glow until 8 January, he carried his younger self beside him into stardom. Critics wonder if the practice was only showbiz flair, yet friends insist sincerity drove every decision. Whatever the motive, the tradition became legend, and it still pulls fans into Graceland today. They gaze at photos of shimmering halls and feel the king's spirit bursting through every colored light. Even now, Riley Keough honors the habit, promising that the lights will stay bright long after the calendar flips. This pledge links past to present, showing how a simple string of bulbs can guard a legacy and spark wonder in anyone who steps across the threshold. Behind the scenes of Graceland's fresh sparkle stands another ally, NBC executive Jen Neal, brimming with gratitude and awe. She calls the chance to launch the holiday season from Elvis's home a dream turned real, a moment she vows to cherish forever. Neal thanks Riley Keough and her family for opening every velvet rope doorway to cameras and microphones. Their trust turned the legendary estate into a live concert hall where millions can share in melodies that once echoed only for the Presley clan. Viewers will soon see intimate sets tucked between gold records, glittering trees, and the same stained-glass peacocks that dazzled Elvis during midnight sing-alongs. Neal promises a special will capture the essence of what the king loved most, pure music wrapped in kindness. As production crews arrange spotlights and sleigh bells, fans whisper about one more wish. Will Riley ever add the guard upstairs rooms to public tours? Those chambers, frozen since 1977, hold Elvis's books, wardrobe, and final record player. Opening them would rewrite tourism history. No firm plan exists yet, but hope races through fan clubs worldwide. Riley's track record suggests nothing is impossible. She has already turned the mansion into a classroom, concert stage, and art gallery, setting a bold standard for modern preservation. Her blueprint centers on accessibility, education, and Memphis pride. Ramps smooth old thresholds, School programs teach rhythm inside the TV room, and weekend fairs celebrate local barbecue and blues legends. Each project proves that honoring Elvis means serving the city he adored. Critics once feared that change would cheapen the legend, yet results shout otherwise. Attendance climbs, community partnerships bloom, and five-star reviews praise the fresh energy coursing through the estate. Graceland now feels like a living heartbeat instead of a silent time capsule. Fans planning pilgrimages dream of exploring new spaces, hearing surprise gigs, and watching kids strum guitars where Elvis once rehearsed. They see Riley's leadership as a bridge to the next generation, ensuring the King's magic never fades. Which of Riley's upcoming moves excites you most? Will you race to Graceland if the velvet rope finally lifts upstairs? Keep your eyes on Memphis, because the next announcement could arrive any minute, sparking a frenzy of tickets, travel plans, and joyous applause.